from Rexall Place in Edmonton, Alberta. Tonight, the Toronto Maple Leafs tonight between the Maple Leafs and the Edmonton Oilers. The supervisors of the spring stations brought to you by Tim Hortons Premium Blend Coffee, always 20 minutes fresh. James Reimer 1-0 against the Oilers, lifetime with a 3.04 against average.
Series sweep.
13-14-4 lifetime against the Leafs, 2.66 in those games. Keith Ollie back in the lineup for the Maple Leafs as well as Colby Armstrong.
Little energy injected in the lineup tonight with having Colby Armstrong in there, and
Series lead at 3-1
as Colby Armstrong.
little energy injected in the lineup tonight.
The third round to sweep Game 4.
Energy injected in the lineup tonight with having Colby Armstrong in there, and a little size as well on the back end with Keith Ollie, who's been playing very well for the Toronto Marlies of late.
And the sidebar story tonight, Luke Shen along with Jay Rosehill and Joey Crabb are healthy scratches here tonight. Carl Gunnarsson still nursing that leg injury sustained in practice before behind her this Western road trip. The Leafs had a fairly good, to be exact.
Once again here in the first period.
The referees are Dan O'Halloran of Essex, Ontario. He's 47. Stephen Wackham of North Bay, who's 48. The referees. Ryan Pansich has followed us up from Calgary. From Great Falls, Montana, he's 29. Don Henderson of Calgary, 43 years young, the linesman.
Well, the Oilers keep the puck in front here, they'll just slow it towards the far side.
Into it, and then fell 5-1. So now, the second game of this game, Western trip. We're going to hear the Leafs in attendance here at Rexall.
Go, Leafs, go!
Right ahead at center, and it is knifed down into the Toronto zone. Reimers moving it back along the board. Kozak got it freed up. Kessel couldn't get it out. It bounces to the line, but is launched back in again. Ollie up ahead for Lupul. Lupul to Kessel and in across the line. Dropping it for Lupul. Going to the net.
Seek slider.
What the doctor ordered! Lupul to Kessel and in across the line. Dropping it for Lupul. Going to the net. Shot! The save!
By Tim Hortons. We're sure towards the far side.
O'Halloran of 40, he's 47. Henderson of Calgary, 43 years young, the linesman.
Given goal, Kessel, and then there's Bozak in front. He's going to the net. Schmidt. First period of suffering a concussion. That puck he got in the head from Toronto. Well, he is behind the bench.
The first period of tonight's game from Edmonton on Leafs TV is brought to you by Ford Live One. By Tim Hortons, always fresh, always Tim Hortons. By Primo, fueling for performance with Primo pasta and sauce. And by 5 Hour Energy Shot.
Of course, Tom Rennie got injured in the morning skate in Toronto, did not coach that game. And I talked to him in Ottawa over the weekend. He's really struggling with concussion-like symptoms. He's had a difficult time and has not been really attending practice a whole lot. As a matter of fact, and I talked to him and smiled.
5 minutes.
Well, it was what the doctor ordered as far as the Maple Leafs are concerned. Now it is Kessel and Ollie this season. By Reimer. Bouncing it in. Joffrey Lupul with his 23rd blocking arm save by has it again in the Oilers zone. The goal is Kessel and Ollie assisting on Lupul's goal. Joffrey Lupul with his 23rd of the season. Laid in over the line. Hayarvi with a shot. Blocking arm save by Reimer. Bouncing puck to Conley. Conley gets it freed up and Grabowski starts away with Clark MacArthur. Grabowski in over the line and a weak shot is steered wide of the net by Nikolai Khabibulin, who's won just one of his last 10 starts, but that was his last start, the 4-3 victory in Ottawa.
He was excellent that afternoon.
A pass ahead to Lombardi. He's in alone. He's ready to go.
By Reimer.
One of his last 10 starts, but that was his last start, the 4-3 victory in Ottawa. 10.
excellent that effort.
Is one of his last 10 starts, but that was his last start before 3 victory in Ottawa.
Excellent.
6 minutes.
Goal January the 20th.
7 minutes.
After a bit of a run with a drive off the blocking glove.
A hungry hockey sports.
Ian
Coming out of the gate tonight.
8 minutes.
by
26.
In this early part of the first period.
Here's a chance for Kuhlman now against the puck still free, swatted towards the net, scooped up by Abby Boland. And a face-off coming in the Oilers' zone. The Leafs have had 5 of the first 6 shots on goal.
Look one more time because you're trying to figure out how can Lombardi be this open. And the Oilers here, both players, and they got a bad change going. And to the right of your screen, you can see the horrific change by the Edmonton Oilers, and it was a real mix-up there as Cam Barker, the defenseman, never got into the play. In fact, they collided, the defenseman, and there's no way the Oilers should be changing there when the puck is just inside the Toronto blue line.
And when Abby Boland came across, he really opened up on the butterfly, and Lombardi slid it right between the wickets.
That's a tough play for a goalie. That little play between the legs when you get an opposition flying towards you and he makes that little move.
Eager. An errant pass goes down. Now it'll have to be touched by Reimer. It's centered in front of the net. They score! Eager.
And he makes that little play between the legs. You get an opposition flying towards you and he makes that little move.
Eager. An errant pass goes down. Now it'll have to be touched by Reimer. Eager. An errant pass goes
Opposition flying towards you and he makes that little move.
Eager. An errant pass.
Opposition flying towards you and he makes that little move.
Eager. An errant pass goes down. Now it'll have to be touched by Reimer. It's centered in front of the net. They score! Goals in the first. To an opening. Pitching down on the far side now. The Oilers playing it around to an opening. Pitching down on the far side now is Lander, who plays it around back to the net. Chipped back into the corner for Smith, who centers, and it was intercepted by Lyles. Lyles turns around back to the net. Got some skating room and plays it out at center off Bozak. Bozak to the right wing side to Kessel. Snap got smothered after the rebound squirted away from him by Abby Boland.
And the big line from the Maple Leafs are absolutely flying here to start off this game.
Squirted away from him by Abby Boland.
11 minutes, 2 seconds of 1 hour.
The big line from the Maple Leafs are absolutely flying here to start off this game. And Edmonton have not been able to handle them so far. And this quick release, we've seen it so many times. And this time, Abby Boland, who does look behind him, mind you. Well, over the top of time. This time, Abby Boland, who does look behind him, mind you. Well, over the top of the blue paint to make the save.
Eager from Petrell, and it is a 2-1 game. Komisarek into the corner. Now in front for Conley, and his shot was blocked by Sean Horcoff. Out back of the net, out come the Oilers with a lead pass. ARB couldn't come up with it. He goes into the near corner after it. The puck is knocked free and brought out by Grabowski, but an errant pass is knocked away by Sean Horcoff. ARB turning in his own zone. Ahead for Horcoff as he hits the line in on the left wing. Back in front of the shot. And Horcoff ahead. Just missed that far post. Conley with the puck on the right wing side. Off the skate and in over the line for Grabowski. Grabowski holds, loses it. And it's back out to the line. Brought in on a delayed offside by Kuhlman. And whistled down by to the line. Just over the line for Grabowski.
And you know what, Chief?
He holds, loses Kuhlman, and whistled down by the line.
First shot of the game, it's kind of fitting. It's number 94. Well, Ryan Smith is excited to be back in Oiler uniform. He's always been an Oiler, even though he left for a couple of years. But here he gets the puck, turns it over in the offensive zone, the wobbly one. This one gets away from him, but he had a little extra steam on this shot in his first game. Came out an emotional greeting back by the fans.
He's not sure. Just rifle it into the corner. Get it out of harm's way. And there's poor communication between the two, mainly because Reimer made the decision at the last second. Look out!
Oh, a shot! And that trickles off to the goal by wide of the net. Rebound to the line, but not out. Another shot is deflected wide of the goal by Reimer. Placed by Reimer. It's centered in front of the net. chance for a save. He lets it go. And Eager takes advantage.
And the Oilers
is going to
score
be
first.
track me.
Well, a little indecision here. Gardner thought that the puck was going to be left, as it is an icing play here. Reimer gets a little bit worried now because he thinks it's going to come back in the slot. Gardner turns the wrong way. The next thing you know, Eager comes in. Everybody's now in a complete defensive mess. And a little play where Reimer went one way with the puck. Gardner went the other way, thinking he was going that way. And Eager just slides into the slot and makes no mistake. And Eager a couple of goals. Last second.
Oh, a shot! And that trickles off a body wide of the net. Rebound to the line, but not out. Another shot. It's deflected wide of the goal by Reimer. Played along the boards. Barker pinching in to try and keep it in. Got support from Jordan Everett. Up now into the Toronto zone. And it is Lombardi finding Armstrong. Colby Armstrong launches it into the left wing corner. And he's going to get in there at the same time as Barker played it away from him. To center ice, falling ball to head, but brought on now by Hall, and apparently offside. What a start.
I talked with Taylor Hall this morning, and it's kind of a funny story. He had a terrific goal in overtime in Ottawa where he drove wide, and it was a real power type of shift of speed. He kind of reminded me of Mark Messier. And I said to him this morning, you ever met Mark? You know, you kind of remind me of Mark Messier. He kind of looked at me with a funny face, and then I realized this kid's so young. You know, he didn't spend a lot of his life watching Mark Messier as a young player.
Yeah.
Felt a little old.
Did you?
I
Very
did.
good.
I did.
You know, it might help you when you go into these dressing rooms to look at your birth certificate. Brown and Eager. And Eager throwing. Lets Brown down and trying to get back up, and Eager throwing haymakers from all over the place. So Benny trying to get back up, and Eager throwing haymakers from all over the place. So Ben Eager. And your birth certificate. Very good.
I did.
You know, it might help you when you go into these dressing rooms to look at your birth certificate. Brown and Eager. And Eager throwing haymakers from all over the place. So Ben Eager is 2/3 of his way to a Gordie Howe in the game.
They have a little chat at the face-off. It's one of those predetermined fights. Yep. Yeah, we're going to fight. See this coming. There it is. You want to go? As soon as the puck goes down. And there they go. And Eager got a bit of a jump on him. No doubt about it.
About a year ago, guys, in Atlanta, Ben Eager sucker punched Colby Armstrong, and the Leafs reaped the benefits of that with 5 power play goals in a 9-5 win. Here we are 13 months later, back at it again.
After 3 months of that, Goniey is the second goal of the game.
Oh, the face-off is coming to the right of James Reimer. And we've got 4 minutes and 49 seconds into the books. We've had just about a little bit of everything, haven't we? This is the face-off. Miles plays it on the glass. And a lead on the bench. Back into the swing. Reimer. Brown and Eager for fighting.
And here's the play that Paul Hendrick was talking about. And there's that play on Colby Armstrong, and Eager was suspended.
That was the Atlanta Flyers. The pass comes ahead for Armstrong. He's pushed off the puck. It is cleared to the line, and a hit there by Darryl Boyce. And as it comes free, it is Lyles with a rink-wide feed, and Armstrong rolls it in over the line. Back behind the goal, Petrie sending it on the wing. Lyles can't keep it in, and it's brought out now by Hall. He hits the line. Hall with a sliding pass to the far side out of the reach of Ryan Jones. Jones trying to bring it to the front of the net. He does. And it's stopped by Reimer, and he's able to get a glove on it and hold on.
And Reimer's a little bit shaky at the moment. It's pretty tough when your team gets a 2-0 lead and then you have a bit of a miscue. and a goal goes in on you in the first shot. Reimer here does a good job, however, holding his ground as Jones does an excellent job driving the net, taking the puck to the net.
Bozak, Kessel, and Lupul out there for Toronto.
Goniey with Hall and Hopkins. Nuge.
And joined by Gardner on the far side. And been getting point of order organized at the benches, and the face-off coming to the left of Reimer. Ball won by Toronto. Kessel spotting there by Speed. Kessel is able to dig the puck out. He's got Lupul with him as he comes across the line, dropping it for Gardner offside. Whistle down by the linesman, Ryan Hansich, and it'll be faced off outside the Edmonton blue line.
Jones, the forward for the Edmonton Oilers, did a nice job there of identifying that rush as Schmid was caught and pushed Kessel far enough out to the outside to create the offside.
Draw won by Edmonton. Laid off by Speed to the far side. Oilers get it out in center and tackled to find Smith. Shot back in again. And Petrie will get it out in neutral ice. Backhanded in by Thomas. Thomas taken to the board. Puck three along the wall. Fed around on the wing. Kessel couldn't get to it. Speed shot is off the mark wide. Jones bunts it back in behind. Smith back to the goal and into the near corner. Thomas got in there, battling in there against Eric Belanger. Belanger has it in his skates. Hook free for Gardner. Gardner sends it off on the wing, and Lupul trying to step around. Petrie gets it out at center ice. Onto the wing for Grabowski, who's off the bench, but he couldn't handle the pass. Grabowski is nailed into the end boards there with a pretty good elbow from Smead. Puck comes out into the center ice area. Horcoff right in front of his own bench, trying to play it in over the line, then comes away with it as the Leafs were changing. Hope check there, sends Conley away. Conley on to MacArthur. MacArthur pulls up. MacArthur into the slot, still with it, rolled it wide of the goal. As Harvey Pullman got spun around in the goal crease, and off the skate, it's going to come out and down the ice. This is Keith Hawley getting through an icing. It'll be brought back down into the Oilers zone. Things have slowed up appreciably. We're now into 8 minutes and 5 seconds. Got almost 4 without a goal.
Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey on Leafs TV HD is brought to you by Molson Canadian, made from Canada.
Conley taking the face-off here. Grabowski onto the wing. Conley wins the draw. Lyle load up icing. Will be brought back down into the Oilers. This is Keith Hawley getting through an icing. Will be brought back down. Pullman got spun around in the goal crease, and off the skate it's going to come out and down the ice. This is Keith Hawley getting through an icing. Will be brought back down into the Oilers zone. Slowed up.
Oilers cut the lead. It's 2-1.
Soft here, Vermont.
Is brought to you.
19 minutes, 16 seconds. 19 minutes, 17 seconds.
Taking the face-off here, Grabowski onto the wing. Conley wins the draw.
Canada.
19 minutes,
Face-off here.
19 minutes, 15 seconds. 19 minutes, 16 seconds. 19 minutes, 17
Conley
seconds.
taking the face-off here. Grabowski onto the wing. Conley wins the draw. Lyles into Clark. MacArthur curling out. Can't get a shot away. Hooks it off onto the near boards. MacArthur onto the puck again. MacArthur with it once more. Back to the point it goes. Slid off to Conley. Conley right on the blue line to MacArthur. MacArthur back in along the near boards. Tries to one-handed along the wall, but was checked. Grabowski trying to help out. Grabowski looks for Conley. Man in front, and MacArthur deflected that, but he deflected it wide. Conley gets it back towards the blue line. Grabowski trying to outfight Alex Pinsky for it. It comes out and down into the Toronto zone. The Leafs 2, the Oilers 1. Cody Franson weaves his way through center. Launches it high into the left wing corner, and Armstrong is onto the puck into the corner now with Sam Goniey. Goniey has it blocked. Centering effort. Knocked back of the net. And now here's Armstrong with it again. Armstrong working on the corner boards, gets it out onto the slot. Another side. Goldman taken to the boards there by Andy Sutton. And it is still the Leafs with it. Here's one up with a open, but Hall's in. Hall still into the shot, but wide. Hall fends on the pass. Goniey. And he can't find anyone as it slides to center ice.
And that rush gives you an indication of what Hall can do. What a player he is already, and what a player he's going to be as he matures.
He's a goal away from being a two-time 20-goal scorer in this league, and he's going to have a lot more than that this season.
And he's a lot more than that.
Played then by Gardner to center. Tip back in over the line. The Leafs get it out again. Bozak off onto the left wing side, and Gardner will back to it. Gardner sends it off a body. Here's Kessel with speed. Off the third angle, a shot in front, and Lupul tipped it just wide. Kessel plays it back into the corner, and Lupul tries to center. He did, and that was stopped by Happy Bullen. Boy, we talked about speed in the opening, and have we seen an abundance of it here thus far? Wow. Lyles going back after it in his own zone. MacArthur up on the left wing, chips it in over the line, and he goes in there after it against Ryan Whitney. Whitney spun around on the play. Grabowski couldn't come out with it, and it's brought out at center ice now by Alashinsky. To the line and in for Horkoff to the left wing side. Payarby lets it get free. Horkoff after it again. Too well covered, but it goes free to Payarby. Now trying to come out in front. He does! Still within a shot! And that might have gone off Lyle's skate and wide of the goal.
Has often had the battle.
Payarby in the corner once more. Magnus Payarby, who spent a great deal of time down at the minors. Hemsky's pass goes off the skate to center ice. Payarby with it again. Onto the right wing side. A shot by Gilbert went off. Weimer and wide of the net. Puck still down in the Toronto zone. Goniey with a nifty move. Then overskated the puck. And the Leafs try to counterattack now as Lombardi, who scored earlier, gets it out at center. Fired deep into the Oilers zone. 4 of the 7 goals scored by Matthew Lombardi have come in the first period. Lombardi. 3 goals. And over the line now for Hensky. Trying to get it back, or rather Goniey trying to get it back into the slot. Chipped along the boards and in for Hall. Everly trying to come out with it. Back to the point it goes, and a wrist shot is kicked away. There's a big rebound, but it goes right to Kuhlman off the play. Kuhlman to center ice. Ridden off the puck effectively by Jordan Everly. Hall in across the line. Working into the right wing corner, and it's stripped away by Bozak. And this will get to something shortly, but Gardner taken down as he goes to the bench slowly. Here are the Oilers back into the Toronto zone. Komisarek after it into the corner. Laid it up onto the right wing side. Kessel got it ahead. Bozak gets it out. Right back into the Toronto zone. Komisarek taken to the boards with authority, but it goes to Kessel and quickly on to Lupul. Lyles with them as the pass was to Lyles on the left wing. Lyles trying to get it in front of the net. Gardner apparently not shaken up on the play. He's right back into the play. Back to the point for Lyles. Lyles a shot. Big rebound. Gobbled up there by Ryan Jones. Jones gets it out. And Drell couldn't do much with it. Jones gets it in over the line. Jones knocked down on the play. Up ahead to Clark. MacArthur adjusts. MacArthur in over the line. Conley to the front of the net. Takes the pass. Conley looking for an outlet. Still with it. Trying to stick hand around below. Saying it's not wide. Centering pass. That one off the goaltender wide. Played to the near board.
This is one heck of a hockey game so far, I gotta tell you. Speed, up and down, great passes.
Over 7.5 minutes without a whistle. Lombardi.
3 goals already.
Fight. What else do you want? A couple of beers would be nice. Maybe just to
3 goals.
get things going. Back to the point now. Here's a chance for Cam Barker, and he's on it high and wide. Off the stakes, and it comes to Lombardi. Franson trying to play it along the boards. Chips it around back of the net. Magnus Payarby with it. Payarby gets a little interference run by Barker down the boards. Lombardi against the wall. Has it. And it is freed up now to Armstrong. Armstrong trying to chip it in, and it is mercifully tipped into Lombardi against the wall. Has it. And it is freed up now to Armstrong. Trying to chip it in, and it is mercifully freed up now to Armstrong. against the wall.
Into one of the playoffs.
It is freed up now to Armstrong.
Here's Sam Goniey.
Trying to chip it in.
Goniey, put up the
Tipped it towards Patrick Sam Goniey. Into the Oiler bench.
Sam Goniey on the Oiler bench. It is now a 3-1 lead. Here in game 4.
And it.
25 minutes 44 seconds of 1 hour 48 minutes 43 seconds.
Last time in Toronto, he's
25 minutes 45 seconds.
and last time in Toronto, these two teams met.
Providing you with a 2020 view of all the action.
Threw one down and got away with it maybe, but tonight, no question about this one. Sent up far side and give it goal. Kessel. And that was the first goal of the hockey game. There he is as a youngster. And whoops, he's got
Curly hair. Well, he has given the Leafs an early lead. Matthew Lombardi's built a 2-0 advantage. Ben Eager has scored for Edmonton, and it is a 2-1 game. Lupo against the boards, a shot from the blue line. It's not down. There's still 3 down as an Oiler. When it comes to down the boards, Marty against the wall. Refasten your seatbelts when you come back. 2-1 Toronto. They're brought to you by LASIK MD, providing you with a 2020 view of all the action.
And the last time in Toronto, these two teams met. Lupo he threw one down and got away with it maybe, but tonight, no question about this one. Sent up far side to give it goal, Kessel. And that was the first goal of the hockey game. And there he is as a youngster in Fort Saskatchewan.
Look at that curly hair.
No idea.
Well, he has given the Leafs an early lead. Matthew Lombardi built a 2-0 advantage. Ben Eager has scored for Edmonton, and it is a 2-1 game.
And 8 goal.
Lupo against the boards, a shot from the blue line. It's not down. It's 3 down as an Oiler on top of the black line. It comes 3 back to the point. Commissary with a shot that's not wide of the goal. Run out now on the near side. Ryan Smith
Between the Leafs.
trying to get it towards the net, gets it back to the goal. Ryan Jones after it now as Gardner is in against the wall. And the puck is poked free and Commissary will get it up on the wing to Lupo with Kessel. Kessel dropping it back for Lupo. Sends it towards the net, but it's off the mark wide. Bozak cycles it back in, and Lupo is first there. Taken to the wall by Petrie, and then smothered at the side of the net by Javi Bullen. There'll be a face-off coming in the Oilers zone to the left.
And for the Toronto Maple Leafs, what I like about their game so far is they've had the puck most of the period, which has really helped their defensive effort. They've been able to get out of their zone in a hurry with speed, with a couple of good quick passes, and really have not been in trouble in their own zone so far here in period number 1.
Brown and Eager back into the game.
For the Toronto Maple Leafs, what I like about their game so far is they've had the puck most of the period, which has really helped their defensive effort. They've been able to get out of their zone in a hurry with speed, with a couple of good quick passes, and really have not been in trouble in their own zone so far here in period number 1.
Brown and Eager.
Own zone so far here in period number 1.
27 minutes, 29 seconds of 1 hour 38 minutes,
Brown and
43 seconds.
Eager back into the game as the shot goes off Sutton to the far boards. Boyce gets it back in along the wall. Here's Steckel centering in front of the net. And unable to get a shot there was Darryl Boyce. Taken to the boards, and Sutton is able to get it freed up and brought out now by Cam Barker. Barker hits the line. Barker on the right wing with a shot that is deflected wide of the goal by Reimer. Enough. Puck coming free in the scrum with Steckel. And Enough works around back of the net. Uses the net to shield himself there from the checking of the crowd. The puck gets turned over though, and Hall has it back in over the line. And have it poked back out again by Enough. Made up on the wing. Hall can't get to it. Grabowski does. Grabowski with Conley in over the line. Conley looking back in for Grabowski. Swatted at it. And it went high and wide of the net. Lyles plays it around back of the goal. The Oilers get it up on the left wing side, and Hall trying to get it in over the line, and Franson took it away. Back come the Leafs on the right wing with Conley. He's got Clark MacArthur with them, trying to slide it through the legs. That didn't work. Grabowski gets tangled up with an Oiler on the far side. No call. And Conley has it back in over the line. Now to Grabowski. Steps around a fallen Oiler around back to the net centers. Back to the point to Franson to drive, and it went wide.
I'll let you go all night, Joe. This is way too good. Oh, man.
This is an 8 o'clock start, but it might be over before most 7 o'clock starts. ARB back to the goal. Got it ahead for Petrie. Petrie on the left wing side to Sean Horkoff. Long shot that went wide of the net. Hemsky back to the net for Horkoff. Horkoff into the corner. Horkoff chased by Gardner back to the point. And a penalty is coming here. It may be goal interference. And the Maple Leafs will go to the first power play of the game.
3-1.
Tangled up with Reimer, and he actually put his glove right in the face, and Lombardi pushes him in a bit, and that's why PRV was not thrilled with the call, nor was Tom Rennie behind the bench.
First power play for either team, and tonight's Maple Leaf power plays are brought to you by Just Energy, your green energy solution. Ball will be to the right of Javi Bullen. And in the last 11 minutes of playing time, there have been just 3 whistles. Well, won by Toronto. Up at the point with a shot that's going to be deflected off the glass. No, off the screen. So this game's stopped for all.
It's nice to see Tom Rennie behind the bench tonight. I mean, I mentioned earlier in the period how much he's been struggling with his concussion, and we weren't sure if he was even going to be in the game tonight. He wasn't at the morning skate and was nowhere to be found.
All AJ coaches all have to wear helmets. The centering pass blocked. It comes back to the blue line and out into the center ice area.
Don't bring that up with the NHL guys, Joe. You won't be very popular.
No,
believe me.
I'm sure I wouldn't, but I'll bet you Tom Rennie wished he had one on. Brought out by Lyles.
Put it this way, when asked, he said, well, I'm not putting one on. So there you go.
There you go. Kessel weaves in over the line, drops to Lupul. His drop pass is picked off and shot out and down the ice. The Oilers are 12th in penalty kill, 83%, allowing 35 and 206 times short. Maple Leaf power play has dropped to 9th. Bozak hits the line to Phaneuf. Into Bozak. Bozak plays it around to the far side. Kessel propels it to the blue line to Lyles, quickly to Phaneuf. Phaneuf back to Lyles. Lyles walks the line, saucers it off to Kessel. Kessel with the snap shot. That went off the stick of Whitney in front and almost into his own goal. 45 seconds left in the penalty to the Oilers. Brought out now by Gardner. Drops. Conley carries to the line, sips in, has Grabowski going to the front of the net, and Grabowski was knocked down as he reached the front of the goal. Puck maintained by Edmonton and launched out and down the ice. Leafs with a 2-1 lead. Gardner. Gardner.
32 minutes, 14 seconds, 1 hour, 32 minutes, 16 seconds, 1 hour, 30.
Gardner. Drops it off for Conley. A pass up on the wing. Conley couldn't get to it. Knocked down the ice by Belanger. And Reimer has to watch back of the goal as Ryan Jones was up there. Penalty expires. Brought out now at center and shot down into the Oilers zone. They had 3 shots during that, but none of them really would call a great scoring chance. Kuhlman backhands it into the corner. Armstrong back to the net. Eludes one, rolled it out in front of the net. No one there to do any damage. Grabowski takes his man to the boards. Franson stands up at the blue line, and the puck goes back down into the Toronto zone. Ollie has it turned over, and Jordan Eberle in on the right side. Eberle taken wide. Ollie loses his stick in front of the net. A shot, and that was stopped by Reimer.
Good save by Reimer there, well under the blue paint. Good challenge.
Ollie gets gets his stick back.
33
Armstrong
minutes, 16
gets the
seconds,
puck
1 hour,
out.
38 minutes, 43
Here's
seconds.
Kuhlman bringing it in for Toronto. Kuhlman with a snap shot that doesn't reach the net. Following up on the play is Lombardi in the middle of a change. Armstrong got nailed nose first into the glass by Ryan Whitney. And here's Paul away, just missing a hit there. Off the boards to center and in for Armstrong. Armstrong trying to get around Tom Gilbert with it. Less than a minute to go in the period as Goniey has to go off Paul to center ice. Brown. Steckel. Steckel hits the line. Steckel in with a weak shot, a backhand line to the top of the net. That looked like it might reach that post. Shot down the ice by the Oilers. And 32.9 seconds remain in the period.
And Steckel just lost the race for the puck here as Heavy Bullen gambles a little bit. Now he goes
34 minutes, 16 seconds, 1 hour, 38 minutes, 43 seconds.
The net and went over the crossbar instead. Good work by Steckel to go to the net with that play.
7 goals, 1 assist, 1 power play goal, 2 shorthanded goals. Nice by the Oilers.
He was 1.5.
2.9 seconds remaining.
And it goes right to Devin Dubnyk, and he makes the
Steckel
first shot of the game. It's kind of fitting. It's number 94. Ryan Smith is excited to be back in Oiler uniform. He's always been an Oiler, even though he left for a couple of years. But here he gets the puck, turns it over in the offensive zone. The wobbly one. This one gets away from him, but he had a little extra steam on this shot in his first game. You could tell when he came out, an emotional greeting back by the fans here in Edmonton. He wants to give him something to cheer about early. But here he gets the puck, turns it over in the offensive zone. The wobbly one. This one gets away from him, but he had a little extra.
In front of the net was Kessel for it is 3-1. Kessel again, now to Bozak. Laid down into the zone. Eric Belanger goes back with a dozen seconds left in the period. Belanger got it ahead on the left wing and brought in over the line now by Petrel. It goes into the corner by the Oilers.
Another save.
32.9 seconds.
3.4 seconds left in the first. 3-1 Oilers.
Penguins coming in here in their third game in 4 nights. It's again
4 goals.
Dan Bowsman told us before the game to establish that forecheck really. That's where they excel how they've won their last 2 games. For the Oilers, use this emotion. Home opener, stacked crowd in here at Rexall Place. Use it to their benefit, not to demise.
No item used.
How they Bowsman told us before the game to establish that forecheck really. That's where they excel and how they've won. Pittsburgh Penguins coming in here in their third game in 4 nights. It's to get pucks deep, very important. Dan Bowsman told us before the game to establish.
There is the horn to end what was a track meet in the first 20 minutes. The Leafs lead 2-1. Before season and a look at the first period summary. And the Lupul Kessel Bozak line had 6 of the 14 Toronto shots. They had 16 shots against the Flames last night. Lupul tries to push the puck ahead, and it's backhanded by Bozak down into the zone. Kessel unable to fish it away there from the Oiler defense as it's played to the Toronto blue line. Belanger breaks into the left wing corner and put up for Kingan. A double team against him there, puts it on to Lupul, and Lupul carries out at center. A pass onto the wing to Kessel, trying to skip to the fence, and it bounced away, but it's now brought in by Bozak. Kessel in the near corner, back to the point to put up the drive, and now to stop the rebound. It's blown out in front of the net by Lupul. I think he was trying to Heavy Bullen, but he missed him. Hemsky. A lot of trade rumors here in Edmonton. A pass back. Here's Hemsky trying to come to the front of the net. Down is Reimer, and the puck goes free, and it is Clark McCarthy getting it to safety and out. Alex Hemsky, minus 14 on the year, just 4 goals and 20 assists. Jared, playing in over the line, and now breaks it to the net. Hemsky drops it back, a shot on, and that was stopped by Reimer. Huntley whips it off the board, but not out. Whitney in with a shot, and that's wide of the goal. The rebound to the near side to Gilbert. Gilbert's shot is wide of the net. Out to the inside of the goal, and Glove gets it up on the wing, and MacArthur gets it the rest of the way out. Whitney back into his own zone for the Oilers. this second period is as quick as the first. Everly in on the right side, going wide there on Ollie, and Ollie got good positioning on him, but unable to get to the loose puck. Goniey down the boards. Goniey double teamed as well as it poked back to the blue line. Sutton to the far side, a shot off a leg, and Lombardi wheels out of the Toronto zone. Lombardi on the right wing with a shot, and it's smothered by Happy Bullen, and he is going to hold on.
Well, Reimer, a couple of plays. First of all, if you miss the puck behind the net in the shoot-in, it can really cause you some problems. It took a funny bounce. Now the Leafs are running around, and this creates a good chance to score for the Edmonton Oilers because of it after Francis gives the puck away in the slot. Here's the play here, but Reimer makes a good save, and then later on, Emsky with a beautiful pass. Yarby with the quick shot, and nice transition there by Reimer that comes from right to left and robs Yarby.
Everly after it on the near boards, can't get to it before Gardner tipped it in a little deeper. And now Sutton wires it out into the center ice area, and it is Hall breaking in around Komisarek. Hall around back of the net. Komisarek got a hunk of him, but not enough. And it's back along the boards and now chipped to the line and batted to center ice by Lombardi. Sutton regrouping in the Oilers zone. Pass is deflected in by Goniey. Down on the near side. Icing waved off as it comes up on the wing, and Darryl Boyce skates it out on the left wing. Boyce to the red line. Just did get it in over the line. Sutton's bank pass comes through center, and Gardner is there. Gardner unable to get to it. He'll be forced here by Ben Eager deep into the Leaf zone. Got it around on the wings for Komisarek. Bank pass for Boyce. Boyce gets it to the line, but not out. Komisarek now with a feed. That went off Steckel? Yes, it did. Waved off the last second by the linesman who was anticipating the icing. Belanger has it swept into the Toronto zone. Chased by Cody Franson. One and two Smith. Here's Belanger back, and the shot is going to go off the stick and ramps up into the screen, out of play.
The second period of tonight's game from Edmonton on Leafs TV is brought to you by NHL 12, available now. EA Sports, it's in the game. By Just Energy and by Bergmanis Prera Personal Injury Lawyers, time tested, trial proven.
James Reimer talking to the official about something, and the face-off coming to his right. Leafs will have a couple of days off in Vancouver. Play an early start time, at least for Vancouver, as opposed to the 8 o'clock late start here. It'll be a 7 o'clock Eastern time start. Miles launches it high into the center ice area. Smead into the near side. Petrie got it back of the net, stolen by the Leafs, centered in front. It comes back to Franson, and a shot in traffic is knocked away. Smead will carry it out at center for the Oilers. Takes it in on the wing and around back of the net now is Cody Franson. Snapped it into the corner, blocked by Ryan Smith. Off a skate, still free in the corner, centering pass off a leg, goes free, centered back into the slot for a shot and a great chance there. Whitney had it blocked. Kept alive by Smead. Here's Sean Horcock twisting and turning. Back to the point, changing on the play. Gilbert down as Reimer. The puck bounces at a strange angle away from him as he either got knocked down or turned around. Lupo will send it deep into the Oilers zone. He was coming for Toronto on the long change here in the second period. And upended there was Grabowski as Gardner makes a move and finds Clark MacArthur. MacArthur into Conley, and his shot went off the stick wide of the net. MacArthur looks for an opening. Sends it towards the net. Hit Conley. Conley has the rebound, though, cycling it back behind the net. Ryan Whitney taken to the boards by Clark MacArthur. Whitney up onto the left wing side. PRV away at center. On the left wing, he goes in over the line, working there against Komisarek. The shot hit the side of the goal. And maybe the post. Round back of the net. PRV with it again, center. And that goes off the skate, and the Leafs have it out at center ice. MacArthur across the line, couldn't hook up there with Conley. Puck back into the Oilers zone. The Leafs get their change going. Parker to the far side. Shooting wide of the net, but this is going to be retrieved by the Oilers, so there's no icing. And it is Gardner now in his own zone for Toronto. Rink wide for Dion Phaneuf. The Edmonton native puts it in over the line. And it's sent right back out into the center ice area. And here's a chance for Goniey and over the line with Hall. Goniey trying to funnel to the net. First, there's no icing. And it is Gardner now in his own zone for Toronto. Sent right, trying to funnel to the net. And whoa, Reimer is hanging on for dear life there against that post. And is able to cover up on the play.
Well, Sam Goniey here with a pretty nifty little stutter step. And it worked beautifully here on Dion Phaneuf right there as he pulls it to the inside. And almost there hit Reimer. Ryan Smith, we've seen this his whole career. That's goalie interference, but he gets away with it once again. He is a master at it.
Well, with all of the trade speculation, Steve Cambellini came out today and said that Ryan Smith would not be traded. Of course, after his brief sojourn away from this area, he returned this year as a free agent, and they're going to honor that. Here's a chance for Boyce, and the shot went over top of the net, up to the side of the goal. Wrapped back in again by Steckel, and it is turned back now by Tom Gilbert. Turned, and now here's the pass ahead, and Everly is away with Hall to the line. Everly goes wide with a shot, blocking arm save. Hall the rebound, upended as he hit the inboards. Goniey cycles it back now for Hall, chased by Phaneuf. Hall works back towards the blue line, and Phaneuf is way out there after him. The pass comes out over the line, and now is chopped into the Edmonton bench and out of play. You're watching Molson Canadian Leafs hockey on Leafs TV HD. From Rexall, Three Warriors, time tested, trial proven.
Well, Carl Gunnarsson is the only injured player right now as he went down in practice before we came out on this road trip on Monday afternoon, and I think he'll be back probably in a week or so. He's walking around pretty good without much of a limp at all, so I think he's going to be just fine.
Brian Burke, Dave Nonis, overlooking things.
Trip on Monday afternoon, and I think he'll be back probably in a week or so. He's walking around pretty good without much of a limp at all, so I think he's going to be just fine.
Brian Burke, Dave Nonis, overlooking things here.
Without much of a limp at all, so I think he's going to be just fine.
Brian Burke, Dave Nonis,
6 years.
overlooking things here. Dave Nonis, overlooking things here at Rexall Place as it's wired down into the Toronto zone. Lyles works it back to the net. It's stolen in front of the shot, and it's whistled wide by Belanger. Lyles turning the puck over. Sent back in there by Petrie. Pass it front down is Reimer, and he is able to come up with it as Petrie sent it in, but Lyles sent it right back into the traffic back of the net.
Yeah, there's been a few of those tonight. The Leafs have been much better in this game than they were last night in their own zone, but Reimer had to be very sharp on this wraparound attempt by Jones as he comes over, paddle down. And Jones is going to face the player once again with this Edmonton Oilers team with good speed and size.
Right of the right of Reimer. Stolen in front of the shot, and it's whistled wide by Belanger. Lyles turning the puck over. Sent back in there by Petrie. Pass it front down is Reimer. And he is able to come up with it as Petrie sent it in. Lyles sent it right back into the back of the...
Others fans cheering for Pronger. It was 2006 Stanley Cup playoffs. And the Oilers will into the conference final for the first time in 6 years.
Lyles sent it right back into the traffic back of the net.
For the Oilers will get their 9th appearance.
Speed, sends it around back to the net. Hooks to the near boards. Lugo on the backhand down the ice. Will be recovered by Speed because he was chased so hard by Kessel that denies the icing. Out into the center ice area, comes in over the line. A pass is on a nice bit of a deflection there from Jeff Petrie, but an excellent save made by Reimer.
Well, Reimer had to be very sharp here, and off the rush, a little pass through the middle here. And the Leafs give the blue line up a little bit too quickly. They're not staggered, and Bob McGill, they can't give the blue line up like that and be successful. That's a real good save by Reimer.
Well, you're no question about it, Greg, but the Petry's jumping in from the blue line, so he senses that they're going to get an opportunity. He jumps into play and almost gets rewarded with it.
There's Clark McCullough, center ice area, comes in over the line.
And Reimer makes the
From there from Jeff Petry, but an excellent save.
Since 2007. Let's look at the
Very
goaltenders.
sharp here, and off
Brought
the
to you
rush.
by, of course, the Northland Ford. And Nikolai
Pass through the middle
gets
here.
the start.
And the Leafs get the blue line up a
He
little
is
bit
a very
too quickly.
active
They're not
goaltender.
staggered, and Bob McGill, they can't give the blue line up like that and be successful. That's a real good save by Reimer.
Well, you're no question about it, Greg, but the Petry's jumping in from the blue line, so he senses
They're not staggered, and Bob McGill, they can't give the blue line up like that and be successful. That's a real good save by Reimer.
Well, you're no question about it, Greg.
Gets the start.
He is a very active staggered, and Bob McGill, they can't give the blue line up like that and be successful. That's a real good save by Reimer.
Well, you're no question about it, Greg, but the Petry's jumping in from the blue line, so he senses that they're going to get an opportunity. He jumps into play and almost gets
so well. Even though the Wild want to get Josh Harding some minutes here,
they can't give the blue line up like that and be successful. That's a real good save by Reimer.
Next, YouTube.
That puck hits the netting in the corner of the Minnesota zone, and that'll slow things down there.
Petry, but an excellent save. May.
A little pass through the middle here. And the Leafs give the blue line up a little bit too quickly. They're not staggered, and Bob McGill, they can't give the blue line up like that and be successful. That's a real good save by Reimer.
Well, you're no question about it, Greg, but the Petry's jumping in from the blue line, so he senses that they're going to get an opportunity. He jumps into play.
Give the blue line up like that and be successful. That's a real good save by Reimer.
Well, you're no question about it, Greg, but the Petry's jumping in from the blue line, so he senses that they're going to get an opportunity. He jumps into play and almost gets rewarded with it.
There's Clark MacArthur at center, hit a leg. He volley, stripped to the disc, brought in by Hemsky. Hemsky has some difficulty with it.
back to the building.
An opening, gets it along the boards.
Way back to 2006.
Hits to the boards.
When the Oilers
was
the
the center
champions.
ice. Clark MacArthur couldn't reach it. He had Conley breaking. And Whitney. He passed it center, deflected into the Toronto zone. Forcing Dion Phaneuf back. Find an opening, gets it along the board. Then it comes right back to him. Hemsky hits to the boards. Puck comes up on the wing. Bosky tipping it to center ice. Clark MacArthur couldn't reach it. He had Conley breaking. And Whitney. He passed it center, deflected into the Toronto zone, forcing Dion Phaneuf back. And the captain sends it back now for Colby Armstrong. Armstrong around back of the net. Left it there for Phaneuf, who banks it out at center. Lombardi tried a touch pass there for Conley that didn't work. Needs to start a change going. Goniey and O'Brien. Good play there by Everly to hold the line. Touch pass there for Conley that didn't work. Needs to start a change going. Goniey and O'Brien. Good play there by Everly to hold the line.
Makes it 4-1 Oilers. That's his first goal in the playoffs.
An exciting line, and Everly's a tremendous passer. Hall will go to the net with authority, and that's happened a lot this year. Here's the Leafs. They don't get it in deep. They're on a change, and the change burns a quick transition. Does Hall stay on side, then he goes to the net, and Reimer locks in here to Goniey, who makes a beautiful pass over. And what a play there. Goniey right over to him on the tape. And Hall just tips it up over top of the goaltender, James Reimer, who over Reimer position. Does Hall stay on side, then he goes to the net. And Reimer locks in here to Goniey, who makes a beautiful pass. A quick transition. Does Hall stay on side, then he goes to the net. And Reimer locks in here to Goniey, who makes a beautiful pass over. And what a play there. Goniey right over on the tape, and Hall just tips it up over top of the goaltender James Reimer, who never gets his first goal since 2006.
No evidence, DEC. Six, let's. Video player. Six, left, YouTube video. Six, goals, good, mark, conditions, above, reaction.
Did get across the pass.
That line skating stance got it to the line. It was a delayed offside. It is whistled out.
And a bit of a break for Taylor Hall. Gagne's a right-handed shot, so Reimer drove a little bit more, but he goes to the butterfly early, so Reimer cannot get across with the pass. And then a couple of skates and gets pushed the ball put up. It's Taylor Hall and the shot today.
Goniey and Sutton draw the assists. An even strength goal. The game is tied at 2. The Knights who had a 2-0 lead, a minute 38 into the first period, have had the Oilers come back.
No evidence, no evidence.
Pass ahead, checked in over the line by Stuckle.
Being at the front.
Down into the center.
Being at Edmonton.
Here comes Sarek. Pete Jones going to the pin out into the lead zone. Petrie in the he starts up. Back to him. Ollie picking up. Coming in over hit with Clark. Pass ahead. Makes a shot. May have struck Lupo.
No evidence.
What's your team? It takes years to learn.
The point. The blue line.
Thank you. Next people, sure. Seat slider, at 59 minutes, 20 seconds. 59 minutes. 49 minutes, 40, 48 minutes, 48 minutes, 49 minutes. 49 minutes, 44 seconds.
Well, absolutely. So Dion put up all by himself. His friends are coming late off the bench, so attention to detail so key. And I mentioned this.
Now on to tap.
Enough.
Going. Goniey in over line. Good play there by Everly.
What a game! 5-1 Oilers!
An exciting line, and Everly's a tremendous passer. Hall will go to the net with authority, and that's happened a lot this year. Here's the Leafs. They don't get it in deep. They're on a change. And the change burns a quick transition. Barely does Hall stay on side, and he goes to the net. And Reimer locks in here to Goniey, who makes a beautiful pass over. And what a play there. Goniey right over on the tape.
What a night.
And Hall just tips it up for Goniey of the goaltender James
Pronger.
Reimer, who never did get across.
3 and 2.
That equals Hall's total point.
YouTube video. No
On the tape, and Hall just tips it up over top of the goaltender James Reimer, who never did get across.
No evidence. Thank you, sure. No evidence. YouTube video player. Speed is 0.5 meters. Jesus.
The ball put up.
Lead, a minute 38 into the first period. And had the Oilers come back on goals by Eager in the first period of 2:32, and now fall at 8:15 in the second. Back to the point it goes. Here's Gardner with a shot. That's Boyce in front of the net. And Eager now trying to play it out.
Puck has to be deep by the Leafs, particularly when they're changing. Halfway shooting, and that creates the counterattack with speed. And the Leafs are standing still because of it.
Gardner's pass was blocked. He gets it handed to him again in the Toronto zone. Jake Gardner now on to Grabowski. Grabowski with room on the right wing side. Into the shot. He snapped it wide of the goal. Rebound is turned over, and Everly and Goniey are away again. Goniey trying to drop it back. And it is cleared, and now a pass for Steckel. Steckel going in over the line, dropping it back for Phaneuf, and he couldn't take it to the net. Knocks it out of the air. It'll be a delayed offside, but Brown has it back in the center ice area. Mike Brown. Phaneuf. Pass ahead, chipped in over the line by Steckel. Cleared to the line, but not out. Clark MacArthur in with a shot, and that was over top of the net. Hall chops it to the line. This should be a glove pass, and will be. As Phaneuf knocked it down at the blue line, and Brown touched it. The Leafs 2 and the Oilers 2. Second pass to midway.
Well, absolutely, Greg. When you come up the middle of the ice, you can't lose the puck in the middle. So just inside the top of the circle, two players go to the bench, and they don't get back into play quick enough. And one of them being a defenseman, so Dion Phaneuf all by himself, is Franson coming late off the bench. So the attention to detail so key, and a mental mistake there by the Maple Leafs cost them the tying goal.
Yeah, and a horrific play in the neutral zone by Lombardi. I mean, has to be chipped off the boards, not thrown back in the middle of the ice, particularly when his team is on a change. And that really created the problems.
Steckel going in over the line, drops it back for Phaneuf, and he couldn't take it to the net. Knocks it out of the air. Offside, but offside back in the center ice area.
Center ice. Let's go Oilers chant here at Rexall.
Pass ahead, chip
Pass it ahead for Hopkins.
There's a line of not out.
Here is Ryan Goodwin Hopkins. Put it down. He's gone.
For the Oilers.
6-1 for the Oilers.
Mistake there by the Maple Leafs cost them the
Goniey
tying
has
goal.
3.
And a horrific
Pronger
play
has
in the
2.
neutral zone.
Mistake there
now
by the Maple Leafs cost them the tying goal.
Yeah, and a horrific play in the neutral zone by Lombardi. I mean, it has to be chipped off.
No item in VU2 video player.
The middle of the ice,
No item in
particularly when his team is on a change. And that really created the problems.
The middle of the ice.
The blue line, and Brown touched it. The Leafs 2.
Middle of go to the bench,
This is-
and they don't get back into play quick enough. And one of them being a defenseman, so Dion Phaneuf all by himself, is Franson coming late off the bench. So the attention to detail so key, and a mental mistake there by the Maple Leafs cost them the tying goal.
Yeah, and a horrific play in the neutral zone by Lombardi. I mean, it has to be chipped off the boards, not thrown back in the middle of the ice, particularly when his team is on a change. And that really created the problems for that rush chance by Edmonton, and it ended up being a goal.
Alashevsky down into the corner. PRV trying to play it free. Hemsky taken to the boards by Lyles. Kuhlman hoping for a loose puck. Got it, but didn't get it out. Long shot by Barker goes over top of the net. Franson up ahead for Armstrong, who plays it to the right wing side. Lombardi coming in over the line. Chased down by Barker. Got it back again. Off the line. Kuhlman trying to free it up, but couldn't find a man. And now in behind is Hemsky's going to the net. He's all alone. He shoots. That might have gone off the post or off the glove of Reimer. Chipped out into the center ice area. And Hemsky got nailed after the fact. He's just getting to the bench now with his helmet on.
Turpin now on the play is he got absolutely leveled afterwards. He sneaks in behind the fence and makes a great play here. Hemsky's standing still and right off the far post. And then afterwards, Colby Armstrong sneaks up on Hemsky and whacks him with a forearm right in the head.
on that play. I would like John Michael Lyles to be backing his partner up. The puck's on that strong side, and Lyles should be back further, and that wouldn't have happened. They Hemsky wouldn't have got the chance.
Petrie gets it up on the wing. Gardner goes back. His soft play doesn't get it out. Down into the corner it goes, and a backhand in along the board. Oilers back after it. Commissaric pulls his man over, and slowly getting up and heading back into the play is Belanger. Going to stay in the game though. Here's a chance for Kessel going wide. Kessel centers in front of the goal. And losing his goal stick was Happy Bull. The police can't take advantage of it. Commissaric leaves it into an empty corner. Gardner trying to shield the puck there against Jones. Puck still free. Jones going to the bench as the Oilers get a change going. High bouncing puck is fed out at center ice. Brought to the line and in by Bozak. Bozak against the boards. Lupul is in there as well. Lupul, little stutter step move against Gilbert. Lupul still with it. Got it in front of the net. Bozak failed to get a stick on it, and then Phaneuf shot it wide and centered in front of the net again. Phaneuf trying to get back as chipped in there by Kessel. And off the stick that comes down into the lead zone. Reimer is going to cover up on it. Hemsky and Ollie having a little shoving match there.
And Kessel with the speed. We've seen this a lot tonight in this game. And here he goes with speed. A little stutter step. Takes it to the net. And right in front of the net here. And instead of going on his backhand, Lupul just tried to go to his forehand. And there's a nasty hit by Commissaric and Belanger. And Belanger stayed with it in the shift. But as you can see right now, he's being attended to as he had a cross-check from Commissaric right into the arm.
Left arm being examined on the bench. Everly works into the corner. Back to the point it goes to Ladislav Sneed. And now back to the blue line. Just kept in at the blue line by Petrie, and the two back to the net. Boyce tips it along. Grabowski starts away as he drops it back, and now trying to get the return pass, send it in over the line. Petrie got a piece of him to slow him up. Conley against the boards, can't find anyone. And around on the near side it comes, and Petrie gets nailed there by Darryl Boyce. Body contact is starting to pick up in this period. Down goes the Oiler player Everly with Franson with a pretty good bear hug on him. And the puck is put free for Franson, and now he starts up. Franson, a pass ahead off Grabowski and onto the right wing side for Conley. Boyce trying to add support, goes into the corner with it. Both he and Grabowski. Grabowski gets thrown aside there by Andy Sutton. And out come the Oilers. Behind at two. Up to the blue line. And Franson now looking two. Side there by Andy Sutton. And out come the Oilers.
The Oilers.
Behind at
Oilers
two.
6, Leafs 1.
Blue line. And Franson now looking for an outlet. Snaps it back out into the center ice area, forcing Sutton back. Sutton to Barker. Back to Andy Sutton. Sutton awarded with a new contract here in Edmonton after moving his family around a lot of the National Hockey League over the last couple of years. Glad that he's staying put. Lombardi trying to slide by on the right wing side. Gilbert plays it back into the corner. Brown got it freed up. Is juggling their lines again here. Armstrong with a hit. Shot bounces wide of the Oilers' hole. It's back to the net for speed to get around on the wing. Brown sends it back. Obi Armstrong for Lombardi, who swept it out in front of the net. Taking the shot, Gardner. Gardner carries around back to the goal. Gardner coming out. Oh, doesn't shoot it. Commissaric does. Blocked in front. Lombardi couldn't get away with it. Another shot. Over the top of the goal with goaltender Happy Bull down. Brown back to the net. He had hit Mike Brown on the way through.
Oilers have really collapsed in front of Happy Bullen when they've been in trouble in their own zone. All kinds of pucks have hit forwards with defenseman's legs and never been able to get through to Happy Bullen.
Well, they've taken over the shots on goal department. Turnover there by Steckel. And Steckel gets it freed up again. And now out on the left wing is Clark MacArthur. MacArthur into the slot. And that didn't reach its intended receiver, and it's back out into the center ice area. Wild is going to send it right back in again. 4:52 to go in the second period.
Period.
Only goal off the stick of Taylor Hall from Goniey and Sutton at 8:15 to tie the game. Leafs with Kuhlman in over the line. Line apart by Cam Barker. Kuhlman against the wall, got it around back of the net. Veteran Smith turns away now for Edmonton. He missed a hit from Clark MacArthur. Oilers regrouping back in their own zone. Giveaway here, chances for Bozak. And that was stopped by Javi Bolin. Bozak again in front of the fence and a shot. And that's kicked away by the Edmonton netminder. Whoa, what a giveaway that was. Bozak had about a 4-foot breakaway. Pass ahead. Branson shot, may have struck Lupel. Now a chance for PRV in on the wings. Can't get a ride and put up. Taken around back of the net, the puck from the skates of the Leaf defenseman. And Branson will change it off the glass and wrap it down into the Oilers' end. Ice. Whoa, that just did make it. The Leaf bench will be upset with that. And so are the Leaf fans in attendance here at Rexall Place.
A horrific giveaway here.
Order fans.
Is going right through the middle. Parker, and there's the giveaway, and a great save by Javi Bolin. And then another play by Franson, and that hit Lupo right in the back of the leg, or that might have been a goal.
And Barker with a bit of a hiccup.
Nice and flat anyway, right on the tape.
It was.
You're going to do it right.
Nope.
Going right
No,
through.
So that just did make it. The Leaf bench will be upset with that. So are the Leaf fans in attendance here at Rexall Place.
A horrific giveaway here. Is going right through the middle. Parker, and there's the giveaway, and a great save by Javi Bolin. Another play by Franson, and that hit Lupo right in the back of the leg, or that might was that.
Nope.
Well, there wasn't much he could do. No, you're right. Another icing coming up here against Toronto. And 3 minutes and 33 seconds remain in the period.
Sam Gagnier's had such a terrific run since the All-Star break. I was talking to him this morning, and he said, you know, I talked to my dad, and the advice that all older players can tell younger players is just control what you can control. You can't worry about grades or what your team is doing, the ups and downs. You have to control your own game and worry about helping your team. And that was the advice from Father Dave, who was a terrific NHL player, and Sam's been terrific ever since.
There's Gilbert at the point. Sprawling to block that was Lupo.
And I wonder how many ex-players have had that discussion with their sons that are playing hockey, because that's a lesson that takes years to learn.
Stopped at by Kessel, doesn't get it out. Back at the blue line, fed in along the boards, and Kessel intercepts. Kessel brings it to the near side. That's offside at the blue line. 3:05 to play in the second period, and this game tied.
LeafRewards.ca to learn more about Leaf Rewards.
No.
Games that have been a nasty in it so far tonight. Both teams have been on the body and come up with some pretty good hits. And speed will do that. And I would want to be a defenseman, Bob McGill, when the forecheckers were barreling in this evening.
No question about it, Greg, is the speed of the game, and you wonder why there's so many injuries today when you see the speed and the violent collisions on a nightly basis.
Trapped in over the line now by PRV, and it's now back of the Leaf goal. Put to the line and out by Dion Canuck. Given a jolt there by Horkoff. Horkoff to the line, and on the wing, a shot off the blocking arm of Reimer over top of the net as Hemsky let it go. Twice. Speaking of hits, there's another one there. Here's Alex Hemsky playing it down into the Toronto end. Ollie wraps it around on the far side. Hockey can't settle that down. Puck is down in the Edmonton zone. Here's side for Jeff Petrie. Up on the left wing side it goes. Brought by Jones to the line. Flipped in over the line. Shot back out again. Grabowski can't get away. Petrie with it once more. 2:05 to play in the period. Down into the Toronto zone. Snap back on the glass for Armstrong by goaltender Reimer. He gets it extricated, and Grabowski with some speed can't get it in over the line. Turned over and sent back in. Oh, and a chance there for Jones, but he couldn't handle the pass. Smith sends it in front, gets it back again with Ollie chasing him. Sent back behind the net. Canuck trying to execute. It comes in front. And a shot there bounces to the line, but not out. Back in on the near side. A quick shot by Jones. Whoa! Reimer is out. He's caught that. And Ryan Smith ends up on top of the Leaf netminder. And Reimer has not gotten up yet.
He's all right. And Ryan Smith, I don't know. There's been a guy in the game in the last maybe 10 years, maybe more, that is good at going to the net the way he does and causing all kinds of problems for goalies. See what he does there? He takes the shaft of Reimer's stick and gives it a push, and he does that extremely well and gets away with it more times than he should.
Face off to the left of Reimer with a minute and a half to go in the period. Goniey lost the draw. Oh! Reimer is out.
Ryan
Smith ends up on
6, let's go. No item in YouTube. No item in hockey board.
Get off the schneid in terms of winning hockey games in this building, and they do so with a good one-timer there by Gilbert, and then Jones with a tip over the net, and then another deflection in front. So Edmonton wants to get off the schneid in terms of winning hockey games in this building, and they do so with a good one-timer there by Gilbert, and then Jones with a tip over the net, and then another deflection in front. So the Oilers are getting some early chances, but not easy to score on that man. He has been good. Great rebound control so far this season by Nicholas Backstrom. His save percentage around 92.
Face off to the left of
41 saves in the shootout loss in Ottawa, so he's getting to see a lot.
Lost the draw.
Backhander is wide in front of the Minnesota goal. That was Taylor Hall showing his speed as he got behind the Minnesota defense. And you'll see a lot of speed out there with this line.
Delayed offside.
Down low. Hall center. Goes right through the crease. Boyden can't clear it out. Heatley trying to get it blocked.
Gardner gets it
YouTube video player group
again and shoots it in. We're back behind the net. Cooper with a hit on Petrie. Puck still free. Played out at center ice. Regrouping with Gardner. Less than a minute to go in the period. Out come the Oilers. On a delayed offside, or he might have been trapped. Out come the Oilers. For Goniey. Goniey going wide, and Steckel goes after him. And against the end boards. Pushed into the corner by Lyles. He had his stick tied up. Brown can't get it out. Sent over here to Gilbert. Gilbert's shot is wide to the Leaf net to the side of the goal. Chopped back into the corner. Hall tied up by Steckel. Grabbed off by the Oilers. Gilbert sends it to the far side. A shot in front of the net by Whitney. He was trying for a deflection. Didn't work. Gilbert back of the net off the stick. 18 seconds left in the period. Lyles trying to scoop it high. And then went off the glass and into the spectators. 13.9 seconds left.
Sorry, Joe. Smart play there by Lyles as he was able to recognize that his group was in trouble. And this line is just so dangerous. I mean, they got a little bit of everything. I mean, Paul is just a horse out there. We got Everly, who's a fine playmaker, and Goniey with some great playmaking ability, but also some pretty good stick speed also, and they are very difficult to defend against.
Leafs have had some pretty good success when tied in the third period. 6-2-1 when tied after 2. And a long shot is gloved by Reimer. Conversely, the Oilers are 2-9-3, and they've been tied heading to the third period. 9.4 seconds remain, but Edmonton has got 22 shots, which is 12 here in this second period. The Leafs have had just 3 in the second period.
Doesn't feel like that, does it?
No, it doesn't. Shots on goal. Don't. There's a deflection right on, and Reimer makes a save just as the horn goes.
Well, the Edmonton Oilers with a much better period, and the Leafs, for the most part, were all right, except for that few crucial giveaways that cost them, and we've got a tie hockey game.
Hall from Goniey and Sutton. Tied at 2.
Except for that few crucial giveaways. It costs them, and we've got a tie hockey game.
Hall from Goniey and
Giveaways. It costs them, and we've got a tie hockey game.
Hall from Goniey and Sutton. Tied at 2. By Proline get way into the game. Just the one goal from Taylor Hall. 25 shots directed at the Toronto goal by Edmonton, and just a dozen by the Maple Leafs, who have only 3 actually on Nikolai Hattys. So I am sure that part of the discussion in the Leaf dressing room was, got to get some more pucks to the net. Spend a little more time down in the Edmonton zone. Ollie ties up his man, but here's Smith then over the line. Smith gets it into the slot. The shot hit saved there by Reimer. Big rebound to Dion Phaneuf. Phaneuf hooks it up on the boards. Chopped by Kessel, but not out. Bouncing high, and then speed was filled in by Phaneuf. Here's Smith turning and cycling it back behind the goal. Ollie can't reach it. It comes to the front of the net, and unable to get to it, and it is swept to center ice by Toronto. Vladislav Speed back in his own zone. Northcott can't get anywhere with that. Rolled in over the line by Lupol. Speed is coming for Toronto. Out into the center ice area. The Grabowski line over the boards. Brought out now as Pullman back on the line with Grabowski and Clark MacArthur. So Ron Wilson juggling. Here's a chance now for the Oilers. Off the post. That was snapped off the post. That's coming in on that right wing side was Ales Hemsky. Warner's back in the neutral zone and now backpedaling into his own zone. Whitney or Gilbert. Got it ahead. Launched high into the Toronto zone. Everly hustling in there after it. Franson took it away from him to find MacArthur on the left wing. And it's played ahead, and Grabowski and Conley are away. Drop pass for Grabowski. Grabowski going wide and around back of the net. Grabowski trying to center, couldn't. Here's Clark MacArthur with it. Conley trying to have some difficulty in front of the goal as Phaneuf is able to play it back in. Phaneuf into the slot. Wrist shot just wide. Chops it towards the net. It's high and wide of the goal. Boyce down the boards, and he just missed Hall with a hit. Everly drops for Hall. Grabowski on him. Down he goes. And the Leafs turn it back up ice. Conley to the line and in with Darryl Boyce. Boyce going in wide. Tried to send it in front. Couldn't. And he did. And it was tipped off the pad of Javi Bulin. Lombardi. He didn't get a penalty there. I don't know.
Because to me, Hall was in a good offensive position. He may have sold it a bit, but still.
Well, he had a pretty good grab on him. Hall may have jumped, so the officials decided instead of making 2 calls, they'd make none. Lander to the line. This is offside at the Toronto blue line.
The third period of tonight's game from Edmonton on Leafs TV is brought to you by Mr. Transmission, a free road test and multi-check while you wait, and by Tim Hortons, always fresh, always Tim Hortons.
Leafs catch a break here early as Hemsky just wires it off the stick perhaps, and then right off the post. And that was a goal that was inches lower.
Talk about gap control, too much space.
Here's some chance in front of the net, but unable to handle it was Petrell, and it's out into the center ice area. Off the skate to the line, gobbled up by Toronto's Brown. Brown feeds on to Steckel. Steckel across the line with Armstrong. Steckel trying to go wide around back of the net. Rolls it to the side of the goal. Chopped by Brown and went out the side of the net line. Brown taken to the boards. Gilbert. Trying to get away on the right wing side. The pass comes out at center, and it is fired deep into the Toronto end. Cody Franson back of the net with Smith chasing. Reverses the puck for Lyles. John Michael Lyles sends it up the middle, and Bozak with speed is across the line. Trying to go in on the backhand. Couldn't deliver the shot. Petrie forced it into the corner. Oilers back the other way. Smith. Diagonal shoot in, and Lyles will get there ahead of Belanger. Sends it around on the near side for Kessel. Kessel across the line for Bozak. Trying to make a backhand pass, and was too well covered and knocked down by Jeff Petrie. The track meet is starting again. Here's Belanger rolling it in, and
just getting his glove on it in time was Reimer, and Jones goes crashing into the net. He's slow to get up on his skates.
He banged his leg right onto the goal post when he went sliding in at a gazillion miles an hour.
Gazillion? That's really quick.
There you go.
Yes, it
1,000
is.
times. Stop exaggerating.
Okay. And last season, we remember the history between Armstrong and Eager. And watch Brown. He'll just come right up and stick out for his teammate there, get away with one. Eager's going, what's going on here?
That's the old tag, and in comes your partner. Long shot, knocked down in front of the net. Into the near corner it goes. Horcock trying to cycle along. Hinsky gets it back to the point. Whitney down the boards, gives it away. Grabowski got better at making a long pass there for MacArthur. In comes Ollie with a shot that is deflected wide of the net by Harry Bullen. Puck comes out into the center ice area, forcing Jake Gardner back to Toronto territory.
Kuhlman back on this line again as John Russell's been shifting around a fair bit here once again.
Puck on into the center ice area. Here are the Oilers bringing it in. Goniey trying to sift through, could not. Hall on the far side plays it back to Everly. Everly back into the corner for Hall around back of the net. Taylor Hall leaves it there for Barker. Defenseman around back of the goal. Cam Barker looks for an outlet. Back to Hall, filling in for him at the point. The shot went just by. Good play by Boyce to poke it out at center, but it was just a little bit too far. Run back by Sutton. Broken up there by Komisarek. Sutton gets it again. Pass to the side of the net for Everly. Everly has it around the boards to Gagner. Back to the point. The long shot is high over top of the lead goal. Sutton down the boards, and Boyce stepped into him. Boyce whipping it to the line and out. And Barker brought it up on the wing. Across the line with a pass in for Eager that didn't work, and as he tried to center it, Komisarek gives Eager a little shove. And Reimer has brought a stoppage of play with the smother of the puck at the side of the net. Well, Ben Eager certainly had a hand in this one. He scored the goal that got the Oilers jump-started after a 2-0 deficit and took on Mike Brown in a fight.
He's showing some discipline, though, guys. Normally, he's a guy that, you egg him on like that, and he's going to take a silly penalty, so good discipline on his behalf here.
Now, you wonder if Tom Rennie's been able to get to him a little bit, because I liked his game in Ottawa this past weekend where he scored also, Bob, in a similar type of affair where he did do a good job with that.
Let's not forget, he was a first-round draft pick.
He can skate. No question about that.
Bozak back of the goal. Centering pass is backhanded wide of the net by Ryan Jones. Down the right-wing side, looking in front of the net for Smith that rolls in front. And Kessel tips it free, and here's Lupul skating it out at center. He had it knocked off his stick. Phaneuf trying to get to it, force it up on the wing. Now it's a loose puck to Smith in the corner. Ollie runs him into the corner blue. Bozak can't play it ahead. Smith's around back of the net with Phaneuf chasing him. And down he goes. Lupul with a loose puck. He'll try it again. Out at center ice is Lupul. Kessel into the slot. Lupul with it again. Getting free. Here's the shot. It's blocked in front. The bouncing puck. Shot by Bozak and stopped by Harry Bullen. Kessel in the corner. Couldn't get it out in front. Armstrong arrived a little bit late. Goes this penalty. I believe it is. The arguing will start, but the officials are gathering, and the Leafs are going to go to their second power play of the game.
I don't know, Bob. Does he hear little footsteps here as Colby Armstrong's coming in and ready to give him a pretty good ride?
Well, he takes a quick little look, no question about it. Jones takes a little peek. He sees that Colby Armstrong's coming. And you know what? When I'm 15 feet out in front of my goaltender, I better make sure I clear the zone. But he gets a little too much oomph on it. And as a result, the Maple Leafs go to their second power play of the game here tonight.
There have been only two. Armstrong arrived a little bit late. Goes this penalty. I believe it is.
You know what? When I'm 15 feet out in front of my goaltender, you can better make sure I clear the zone. But he gets a little too much oomph on it. And as a result, the Maple Leafs go to their second power play of the game.
Just over 3 months ago, right here in St. Paul, Ryan Nugent Hopkins was the number 1 overall pick of the Oilers in the 2011 NHL entry draft. He joins the 2010 number 1 overall pick, Taylor Hall, to form quite a dynamic duo of teenagers. Nugent Hopkins got a goal in his very first game last weekend, while Hall notched 22 goals last year as a rookie.
Penalties have not been a man short. He's gone! 28.
You know, that might happen before this.
Here's Gardner with a drive. He's gone!
It's now a 4-goal lead. It's 6-2.
The Leafs have been pretty good in the face-off circle tonight throughout this hockey game. There's no winger on the boards for Petrie, and then Gardner just cruises into the slot, one-times it. I'm not sure Hattie Boulin had a good look at this as Schmid, who's a good shot blocker, second in the league in blocking shots, doesn't get that one. And yeah, Hattie Boulin, you can tell by his reaction, he really doesn't have a good look at it, and there is no doubt that Gardner got all of that baby. The Leafs, after 2 periods, have won 61% of the draws in this game, and they win a big one there.
Well, kudos to assistant coach Rob Zettler, who works daily with these young defensemen, working on those one-time shots.
Gardner's third of the year, his first on the power play, and another offside of the Toronto playoffs.
Off the draw, the Oilers throw it around the boards. That winger's got to be there to tip it. He's not there. Remember earlier in the game, that's one way to have a wake-up call. Not that Gardner ever needs it, but a good play there by Cody Franson to keep the puck in. Clark McCarthy with a beautiful backhand pass, and there is the one-timer. And no mistake made by Gardner as he hits the far side.
Rookie Gardner's 18th point of the season. Cody Franson with his second assist in the game. He also has 18 points. The Leafs regain the lead. It's 3-2.
Over the ball.
Backhanded ahead for Everly. Miles tips it on to Boyce, and Boyce left and assist. Power play.
61 Gardner got in the league, and Vladdy broke this hook. Schmid.
He's gone!
28. You know, that might happen before this.
Here's Gardner with a drive. He's gone!
That might happen before this.
Here's Gardner with a drive. He scores!
Oilers on the go-ahead hole. This is 12.
Been pretty good in the face-off circle tonight throughout this hockey game. There's no winger on the boards for Petrie, and then Gardner just cruises into the slot, one-times it. I'm not sure Hattie Boulin had a good look at this as Schmid, who's a good shot blocker, second in the league in blocking shots, doesn't get that one. And yeah, Hattie Boulin, who's a good times it. Not sure Hattie Boulin had a good look at this as Schmid, who's a good shot blocker, second in the league in blocking shots, doesn't get that one. And yeah, Hattie Boulin, you can tell by his reaction, he really doesn't have a good look at it, and there is no doubt that Gardner got all.
Laid up by Fanuc. To the line, but not out. Parker got it back behind the net. Now to Hall. Hall had it knocked back. Goniey centers. He's going to by everybody. 7 minutes, 45 seconds played into the third period.
7-2 Oilers.
Long shot, blocked there by Miles. It comes up a little bit. They try to center ice then by David Steckler. Brown's going to chase his man Gilbert back. Good reverse there by the defenseman. Now Armstrong going to take pressures Whitney into a turnover. Steckler trying to help out. Back to the point. It comes to Lyles. Lyles to Cody Franson and the shot. Oh, the big rebound and Armstrong heading to the net. Couldn't get it to settle down. And that was obviously happening to the net.
Amazing, guys, where you're on your heels, but you score a goal, and all of a sudden you've got blue light in your legs, and the big police get those that momentum back to their side.
And just shifted bench. Momentum. To the corner it goes now for Gardner. Jones back to the net. Kessel steals. And Kessel comes out with Lupo. A nice move with his skate to kick it down into the lower zone. Bozak knocks down an Aaron Price.
for Pronger. One-touch pass out in front. Luca wasn't able to get to it. Smith play it down into the Toronto zone. Jones and Komisarek after it. Luca leaves it off the glass to center right.
Hopkins with one goal to assist.
On to Sean Horcock. And Goniey. The shoulder. Oh! Roloski had his stick lifted by PRV. Another penalty coming against the Oilers. Kessel had to get on here to come up with that loose puck as the goaltender headed for the bench. Kessel. Clark MacArthur. Centers! Oh, Sutton fires. A leap forward. Steckel right into the goal. Just the one penalty. Check.
That's an easy one here. This is quite a delivery. Right through the middle. They always got caught in a bad change. Clark MacArthur finishes it off after Cody Franson with a beautiful tape-to-tape pass through the middle. It gave the Leafs a goal in period number 1. A quick look at this penalty here as MacArthur was in, no doubt about it, and there is the trip. And a bit of a case almost. Like he was in for a penalty shot. I don't think you call him from that far out, but Clark MacArthur was in.
Andy Sutton is fortunate that he didn't get a second penalty when he pulled Steckel into the net. Here's Lupul. Off the boards to Lyles to Phaneuf. The shot. Big rebound in front of the net. Backhanded in front. It's cleared to the boards, but not out. Lupul. Back it goes to Lyles. Lyles with a wrist shot. Blocked in front. Where's the puck? It's grabbed off by the Oilers and sent down the ice.
What we haven't mentioned is the importance of a power play goal for the Toronto Maple Leafs here in this third period. Not only to get them the lead, but the power play has been struggling so much of late. And you can see the confidence. Bob McGill talked about how confidence goes right to the legs. Well, even more confidence when you get a power play goal and you get a back-to-back one. The Leafs have moved it much more efficiently here on this power play.
They had just one in their last 5 games. Centering is front. Lupo! Shot it over the top of the net. Crashes into the Oiler. There's going to be a penalty here.
It's an even
up. The hook.
There's a bit of an even up there. You won't get a complaint, I don't think, from Ron Wilson, as it was only a matter of time, really. And here's the play, and the stick is there, and it gave the official an excuse to make the call.
11:08. So just a minute into this power play, 1 second actually. The Oilers will get, for the first time in 2 games, a power play against Toronto. You'll recall in their game in Toronto, it was a penalty-free game as far as power plays were concerned. Neither team had one. Here's a backhand on goal, scooped up by Happy Boolin. There'll be a face-off coming in the Oilers zone. Futures is brought to you by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. We'll pick you up.
Well, Matt Bratton having a great, second half of the season as he's back with the Toronto Marlies, and he had 6 goals in the last 5 games going into their game last night against Adirondack Phantoms, and he's got his speed going. He's going to those dirty areas, and he's being paid dividends by scoring some goals.
The Oilers with the second best power play in the National Hockey League. Here's Gardner taking it wide, mishandled it, hooked it around into the near corner. Bosky after it, can't come away. The Oilers get it out. Falling there was Cody Franson, but he was able to get the puck away from Ryan Jones, who might have been away to the races. Rabowski coming out of his own zone to MacArthur and slipping it down into the Oilers zone. 16 seconds left in the penalty in the 4-on-4. Back to the point to Phaneuf. Phaneuf just backhands it around back to the net. Rabowski's going to reach it. Just plays it deeper, and he's going to peel to the bench, and the Leaf penalty killers will get going here with a minute in the Oiler power play. The Leafs have allowed 1 goal in the year 2012 with the man advantage. Enough. Flyers in down the ice. 1 of 32. And you could have won a lot of money wagering on that on January the 1st. into the corner it goes. Goniey back to the point to Ryan Whitney. Walks the line, dishes it off to Hall. Hall challenged by Kuhlman. Back it goes to Whitney over to Goniey. Goniey with a pass down low. Blocked. Everly tied up by Commissaric. Chopped down. Cleared to the line and out. 16 seconds left in the penalty. Lombardi got a piece of that. Like it might have been offside. The ball goes around back of the net. Horkoff slides it back into the corner. Centering pass for Horkoff. Knocked back into the corner. The penalty is over. Goniey winds and shoots. That's blocked. Cleared ahead at center, but it was on the other side of Lombardi. Out of the net to handle that was Javi Bulin. On Gilbert. 6.5 minutes to play in the third. The Leafs by a goal. Leading in Hemsky. Nifty move. Goes to the net. 6.5 minutes to play in the third. The Leafs by a goal.
The Leafs trailed by 5 goals.
Leading in Hemsky. Nifty move. Goes to the net. Stop. Rebound. Where is the puck? It's knocked into the corner and Branson cleared to the line but not out. Long shot. Pad save. Big rebound. Chopped to the line but not out. Right back in again and around to the far side. Lupel and Gilbert. Gilbert leaves it there. Lyles ties up his man. Bozak can't get it out. Point shot from Barker is not taken. Kessel checks him. Barker gets it back to the net. Belanger at the half board cycles it back along. Now Barker trying to come out, or at least Hemsky into the slot with a shot that goes off the leg. Bozak plays a bouncing puck out into the center ice area. Kessel was upset there as he was trying to go after it. Changes here for both teams. 5:36 to play. Third period. Power play goal from Gardner. Leafs have a 3-2 lead. Gardner. Leafs have a 3-2 lead.
From Hall.
Power play goal from Gardner. First
7-2.
2.5 minutes. I thought this was going to be about a Baker couldn't get to it. Kuhlman knocked down on the play. Grabowski had it stripped away by Eager. They battled for it. An elbow there by Eager. Took the helmet and hit it Grabowski. Speed lays it back into the corner for Smith. It bounces out in front. Trying to get the shot away to Spencer. In front of the goal as Weimer was down. At least trying to get it out and they do. Race for Grabowski without the helmet. Around one man, trying to play it in front. Puck rolls underneath him.
Get your helmet on.
Brought out by Taylor Hall. Oh, Brown had him lined up. Hall works to the near half board. Tied up by Lyles. Puck comes back to the two. Going against the boards. Back to the point to Whitney. Back to the net. Goniey. Trying to work it out in front. Whitney to the far side. Gilbert in front.
Side. Pronger.
Hall back to Whitney.
Pronger.
Pass the puck. Centered in front. And the Leafs pinned in here for the third straight shift. Here's the shot by Edmonton. And the Leafs pinned in here for the third straight shift. Here's
Criss Pronger for the hat trick.
Your place. Hold on. Out of place right pause. Yeah. Rewind 10 seconds. Okay. Fast forward 10 seconds. Go. No idea. No idea.
Criss Pronger.
3 shifts in a row.
First hat trick.
3 shifts in a row. The Leafs are just all hemmed up in their own zone. And puck recovery. Goniey gets it back. Now they don't get it out. Brown has the opportunity. Can't find the handle. Steckel has a chance. Doesn't get it out. And then what a shot right up over the glove by Eberle. As he just stays with it. Terrific balance. And then flips it up over top of the goaltender Reimer, who really doesn't get in the blue paint on this after the turnover.
8-2.
And then flips it really as he just stays with it. Terrific balance. And then flips it up over top of the goaltender Reimer, who really wants, and then flips it up over top of the goaltender Reimer, who really doesn't get out of the blue paint on this after the turnover. of the goal. Terrific. He can't find the handle. Steckel has a chance, doesn't get it out. And then what a shot right up over the glove by Everly. As he just stays with it. Terrific balance. And then puts it up over top of the goaltender Reimer, who really doesn't get out of the blue paint on this after the turnover. And there it is. The glove is down a little bit. Puck goes right over the glove.
15:56.
16 minutes
One of
and
the great
0
young
seconds
stars in this
for
league.
Criss Pronger
Whipping with the other with the lone assist.
with a 40-hour hat trick.
And Scott Everly is
And the night for Mr. Hockey.
One of the great young
No, I didn't do that.
Paint on this.
Wayne
Over the
Gretzky.
turnover.
Paul Coffey.
There it is. The glove is down a little bit. And it goes right over
And the greatest one.
15:56. 25th of the
Scored a goal.
Just stays with it. Terrific balance. And then puts it up over top of the goaltender Reimer, who really doesn't get out of the blue paint on this after the turnover.
The Green Oilers.
And puts it up over top of the goaltender Reimer, who really doesn't get out of the blue paint on this after the turnover.
3 goals and
There
one
it is. The
assist.
glove is down to the turnover.
Goniey
And there it is. The glove is down a little bit of the goaltender Reimer, who really doesn't get out of the blue paint on this after the turnover.
Hopkins.
And there it is. The glove is down a little bit.
Good score.
Puck goes right over the glove.
And gets his third assist.
15:56.
A little bit.
No, I
Puck
didn't do
goes right over the glove.
15:56. 25th of the year for one of the great young stars in this
No, I
league.
didn't do that.
Whipping with the other with the lone assist. And Everly has enjoyed playing against Toronto. He had a pair against the Leafs in Toronto. Scores the tying goal here. Conley passing it ahead. Boyce trying to drive it in. He's got a goal! And not wide. The man is knocked off. Well, it's been an enjoyable night. Why not have a little more? 3-3 demand online.
That's a terrific game. I'll be showing the plays of the third period, and there is the 3-2 goal in the power play. And then Everly has the time shot there moments ago, and it's just been an unbelievable hockey game. That is for sure.
Leafs TV subscribers can watch the Leafs live online at RogersOnDemand.com/Leafs.
Gardner with that big shot, the one-timer as well, and two great young players put on a show here. The unbelievable Everly shot there moments ago, and it's just been an unbelievable hockey game. That is for sure.
Leafs TV subscribers can watch the Leafs live online at RogersOnDemand.com/Leafs.
Gardner with that big shot, the one-timer as well, and two great young players to go, and then Everly has the time there moments ago, and it's just been an unbelievable hockey game. That is for sure.
Leafs TV subscribers can watch the Leafs live online at RogersOnDemand.com/Leafs.
Gardner with that big shot, the one-timer as well, and two great young players put on a show. Just been an unbelievable hockey game. That is for sure.
Leafs TV subscribers can watch the Leafs live online at RogersOnDemand.com/Leafs.
Gardner with that big shot, the one-timer as well, and two great young players put on a just been an Everly has the time shot there moments ago, and it's just been an unbelievable hockey game. That is for sure.
Leafs TV subscribers can watch the Leafs live online at RogersOnDemand.com/Leafs.
Gardner with that big shot, the one-timer as well, and two great young players put on a show here in the third period.
From a department of the chief informant, that is Jeffrey Geronet. He has 5 goals in 4 career games against Toronto. They tie to center ice. Kozak unable to trap it. Kessel follows up on the play. Kessel into the snapshot. They will out the stick of speed and up into the screen.
I asked Tom Rennie about Everly a couple of days ago, and I said, and he said, all Korea. I thought, wow, that's a pretty good comparison in terms of a compliment. And, you know, he's got the speed. He said he's got good vision, tremendous skill level, and that says it all, doesn't it?
Yeah. He scored the tying goal, his 25th from Whitney at 15:56.
And we got his intelligence and his hockey sense also.
Tomorrow,
Nope.
the
No
Oil
item in the
Kings
hockey board shirt campaign button.
That says it
in
all,
the
doesn't it?
2012 Calder Cup.
He scored the tying goal, his 25th from Whitney at
No item in
15:56.
the, no item.
And we got his intelligence and his hockey sense also.
Get their win.
56.
No item in
And we
the, no
got
item.
his intelligence
Tying goal is 25th from
And becoming
Whitney
their
at 15:56.
championship
and we got his
debut.
intelligence
Goal is 25th from Whitney at 15:56.
and we got his intelligence and his hockey sense also.
Got another
15.
game 5.
Scored the tying goal is
And May
25th
9th.
from Whitney at
Game 6 at May 11th.
scored the tying
Game
goal is
7.
25th from Whitney at
May
15:56.
And we got
After
his,
an Oil
Scored the
Kings
tying
game.
goal is 25th from Whitney at 15:56.
No item in, no item
we
in
got his
the,
intelligence and his hockey
Game
sense
2.
also.
no item
Scored
in
the
the,
tying goal is 25th from Whitney at
Pronger
15:56.
And we got his intelligence and
Anthony
his
and
hockey sense
Hopkins.
also.
15:56.
And we got his intelligence and his hockey sense also.
Scored the tying goal is 25th from Whitney. Scored the tying goal is 25th from Whitney at 15:56.
And we got his intelligence and his hockey sense also.
no item in the, no item in the 6 at home and
Gets it up on the right wing side. The Army couldn't get some support there. Gobbled up now by Grabowski and brought in over the line. Grabowski on the backhand. Can't send it in front. Laid around back to the net. And lost it there to Gilbert. Gilbert gets it ahead, and here's Horcock. Horcock, left wing side. The Army with a shot that's well wide. Gilbert down the board, sends it around back to the net. Leafs slow to react to it as it goes into the corner. Horcock sending it back. The Army trying to work his way free. Cycles it along the boards. Dembski to the point. Shot blocked in front. It goes back to Carter getting it out the corner. Coleman needs a change of players, so he sends it in deep.
no item in the, no item in the hockey board shirt
2.5
campaign
minutes
button.
to go in regulation.
Oilers 8. Leafs 2.
Gives the puck away. Boyce couldn't do anything with it. Now Ollie trying to keep it in a little deeper. And it will be Whitney sending it over. Sutton gets it ahead. In over the line. Watch the sticks in the way. The ball goes into the shot on the backhand. Smothered by Reimer. Penalty for hooking against Toronto with 2:06 to play in the third. Trending now is brought to you by 5-Hour Energy Shot.
And pretty heavy minutes. Two of the stars in this game tonight. Bob McGill, that was right in front of you. And you knew at some point there was going to be a penalty to the Leafs the way it was going.
Well, it's one of those situations where waving the stick and everybody forgets that, you know, you've got Taylor Hall following up the play, and from behind, it's Daryl Boyce who has to put the hook on to prevent the opportunity.
Pass by Everett.
Forgets that, you know, you've got Taylor Hall following up the play, and from behind, it's Daryl Boyce who has to put the hook on to prevent the opportunity.
Be a penalty to the Leafs the way it was going.
Well, it's one of those situations where waving the stick and everybody forgets that, you know, you've got Taylor Hall following up the play, and from behind, it's Daryl Boyce who has to put the hook on to prevent the opportunity.
No item,
Pass by
no item
Everett.
in the 2
Face off won by the Oilers. Everly against the boards, loses it. And Lombardi sends it out and down the ice.
17 minutes, 54.
While the Leafs' improved penalty killing is going to be severely tested here with a point in the standings as the end result. Whitney puts it up on the wing for Sean Horcock. Fumbling there was Steckel, replaced by Conley. The Oilers locked it down to the Leaf blue line. Now Hall gets in on the left wing and then pulls up. Hall off the skate, backhanded down the ice by Matthew Lombardi.
He's doing an excellent job defensively there, standing up the blue line and taking away the speed of the Oilers.
110 rather left on the penalty. PRB in on the left wing. Thomas Eric chasing him. Far corner and back to the point. across, doesn't reach anyone. Oilers keep control. Smith in front of the net. Back to the point, Gilbert. Gilbert dishes it off. Hemsky working in from the side of the goal. A shot is stopped by Reiner on the short side. Chipped ahead for Conley. Conley just going to take his time and put it in. Watching his penalty kill, 33 seconds left in it. Hemsky loses it. Steckel shoots it down the ice.
They're pointing it down. They hold the line well there and not let the Oilers in. Big rush here for the Maple Leafs. They need this point.
Across the line for Smith. Into the corner. Goniey sweeps it around the boards. Bouncing puck for Paul to try and keep in. Lombardi couldn't get to it, but it bounces out at center ice. Parker couldn't keep it in. Penalty will expire as they get into the zone. Now here's Hall. Roaring to the front of the net, intercepted. Clear to the line, not out. Parker keeps it into the second left. And the Leafs will get it.
Oilers win it. My final score is 8-2. Criss Pronger and Sam Goniey, 2 hat-tricks.
Some Canadian make
YouTube video player group.
The rush the other way, and then Lupo, a right-handed shot. Pull. And then finds Conley going to the net and beats Heavy Gula.
First in 18 games for Tim Conley.
What a pass. Heavy Gula got a piece of it, but not enough.
But he cannot underline the importance of the head down and drive back on the back chest by the captain, Leon Fanook. Here's where it turns a 3-on-1 going one way into a 3-on-1 going the other.
That might be his best play of the year, right there.
Conley or Fanook?
Or both. I didn't like the giveaway, but it worked.